Greetings and salutations. It is I, Professor Macabro, accompanied, like always, by the ever-lovely Zombie Huesitos and the Spooky Crew, and we're here to regale you with another part of our last DVD pickups of 2024. Yes, indeed. I have indeed reached maximum occupancy between the Spooky Crew and the movies, but these are a bunch of movies that I got, and I saw them, and I liked the cover. They were a good price, so I bought them as I do. So let's get started. First off, don't know a damn thing about the majority of these movies. Totally blind buys, but that's what I like. You see, I like collecting movies that I've never heard about, or even seen, or heard other people talk about. They just flew under the radar. Are they good? Probably not. Will they be entertaining? That's 50-50. But the fun of discovering some weird-ass movie that you've never heard of and seeing it and coming out with the experience is what I'm all about. So I got this thing called The Last Days on Mars, starring Sabretooth 2, you say, from X-Men Origins Wolverine, Liev Schreiber. I think that's how you pronounce his name. And I was attracted to the nice little metallic looking cover. Yes, let it hypnotize you. Yes, indeed. It's about this group of people that do a manned mission to Mars, and they discover life and shit happens. And there were actually 2 movies from Mars, and then they did The Martian. So it's weird they don't do more Mars movies, but this is the most recent one that I know of. Also picked up this thing called Greystone Park. Can't tell you thing one about it, but it appears to be one of those movies where a group of people investigate an asylum and shit goes down, like in Grave Encounters or Session 9. 2 of the best examples that I can give of that genre, but oh boy, do I own a couple of movies that are like that. People either have a party in an abandoned asylum, or they're doing some investigation or in an abandoned asylum, and shit hits the fan. But it is what it is. This one is called Snapdragon. Still sealed. Very weird to come across still sealed DVDs in this day and age. Why would people buy DVDs and not watch them? But of course, they might be leftovers from a store sale that they were just sitting there. Doesn't seem to have any sun damage though, but I don't know. But the reason I got this is because this is one of Pamela Anderson's earlier roles, before Barbed Wire, and I think when she just started on Baywatch, she did this one. And I like to collect movies from certain actors, or actresses, or directors. And it's very curious to see the first movie of an actor or actresses before they hit it big, and became big names. And a lot of them, even though some of them despise the notion, got their start on horror movies. And this doesn't appear to be a horror movie. It appears to be a sexy thriller, because some psychologist is involved with the basic instinct, basically. People being murdered, and they suspect a hot blonde chick, but it might not be her. That kind of stuff. But it has Pamela Anderson, and again, I don't know if this is her first movie role, but it says here it's one of her early movie roles, so that's why I got it. Because, why wouldn't I? It's Pamela Anderson. Next one I got is this one called Psychotica. Again, couldn't tell you a thing one about this one, other than the name, but, looks interesting. I like the cover. Next one I got is this one that's still sealed, and it seems like the disc might be loose, so I might have to crack it open. But it's called Crossworlds with Rutger Hauer. And it appears to be like maybe this multiversal thing, or people protecting some sort of gateway. I don't know, but it has Rutger Hauer, and why wouldn't I pick up that one? Still sealed. Yeah, surprising. This one is called Blackout. And from what I read on the back, it's people stuck in an elevator, and one of them is a psycho killer. Qu'est-ce que c'est? Da 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 da. Run. That's all I can sing because I want to get copyright. But yes, it kind of like takes the... I don't know which one came first, if this one or Devil. The one where the people get trapped in an elevator and turns out one of them is the devil. And in this one, it's one of them is a psycho killer. So you can't run away when you're in the elevator, so might be good. Might be. I don't know. Couldn't tell you till I see it. This one is called The Crimson Code. And it's an ex-Blockbuster. It has the Blockbuster stickers, the price tag, and it's one of those old Blockbuster boxes. You'll see, I'm not very nostalgic on Blockbuster myself. It had some interesting movies, but then they had edited versions of the movies. The most notorious one is Pirates, that adult film movie that Blockbuster had. But they cut up all the naughty parts, and they did that a lot. I also heard Walmart releases, or used to release DVDs that were also edited. And, I don't know. I'm not as nostalgic for Blockbuster, because it killed the mom and pop stores that there were around before inevitably dying themselves because of Netflix. But it's still cool to find these Blockbuster cases when I can. And this is an Artisan DVD, which is also extinct. You know. But this one is about a serial killer that kills serial killers. So I don't know if this is inspired by the Dexter book or if this came before the Dexter books, because we all know the TV series. I don't know, but that's the premise of this one. It's a serial killer that tracks down serial killers. So that, at least the premise sounds interesting. This one is called Into the Fire. Yes, indeed. And again, couldn't tell you thing one about this movie, but I like the cover. Might be interesting. Also picked up this one called Madhouse. It's a madhouse. Madhouse. And I only bought it because I saw Lance Henriksen was in this. And I'll buy any movie with that man. I even own a Steven Seagal movie that has Lance Henriksen for a little bit. Yes, indeed. The day that man goes away, it will be a day that Professor Macabro is very, very sad. But he might only be in this for a couple of minutes. I won't know until I pop it in. But again, looks interesting. Might be another Asylum movie. Not a movie from the studio, The Asylum, but a movie set within an asylum. You know what I mean. This one is called The Last Sect. And it stars David Carradine from Kill Bill. And it has sexy ladies on the cover. You can never go wrong with sexy ladies. Actually, that's not true. You can definitely go wrong with buying a movie with sexy ladies on the cover, because it will be a piece of shit. I've been deceived so many times. But I was like, why not? Let's give this a chance. Again, David Carradine might only have a cheap cameo, and it might not have him that much. But again, sexy ladies. That's sold. And the last one that I will talk about is one that I hope is good. It says Last of the Living. So, might be good. These zombie movies are hit or miss. Like all thriller, horror, suspense, psychological terror, whatever you want to name it. All movies are hit or miss, but I still, it's just something about coming across this movie called Last of the Living. I've never heard about it. I don't think I've come across, well, there's a lot of reviews on the internet, so I don't think I've ever seen someone personally talk about it. Maybe someone did. Maybe it's someone that has, and I want to see the review. Let me know. But I couldn't help it. It's something that, to the top of my head, I couldn't remember in my Rolodex of movie knowledge ever seeing it or hearing about it. So that's enough for me to buy it. And again, just the fact that I own something called Last of the Living is a novelty to me that I like popping on the DVD, watching it, and it gives me the experience like, wow, that movie, I didn't expect jack shit from it, but it was actually good. Or things like, wow, that movie was nothing, and I will in one ear, out the other. But it's something that I watch, so yes. Really hoping that this is really good, as well as The Last Sect. So those are the ones I'm most excited about. The other ones might be Okay, but even I've always said this. Any movie, good or bad, big budget or no budget, the fact that the movie gets released in itself is a miracle. Between the conception, the storyboarding, getting people together, getting the money together, filming, editing, and then distributing any movie, good or bad, is a miracle that came out. And especially, came out on any sort of physical media, you see. So yes, have you seen any one of these movies? Would you recommend? Would you avoid like the plague? Let us know in the comments down below. But until we see you all again next time, this is Professor Macabro, that is Zombie Wasitos and the Spooky Crew, and we wish you all, like always, a good evening.